got in the car, martial arts, training the car. Today's topic, limitations in martial arts. I should say limitations that are placed upon self or that the student will place upon themselves in martial arts. And I think this is arguably, as a martial arts businessman, whatever you want, businessman, yeah, whatever. This is what I fight against the most. Meaning that when I'm trying to have, encourage someone to train with us, to experience awesomeness in martial arts, the limitations that they put on themselves, whether I'm too old, I'm too fat, I'm too out of shape, I don't have money, whatever, I live too far away, my wife doesn't support me, my boyfriend doesn't support me, whatever it is, there's that limitation, and most likely, and I think from my experience, that limitation isn't really the limitation. That's not really the thing that's keeping them from doing, doing martial arts. It's 90% fear, I think. It's 90% not knowing, fear of the unknown and fear of failure. And I think that's it. I think it boils down to that. And not all martial arts tools are like mine, and I can understand that. But, I strive to make it, when you join, when you start training, that it is a very welcoming experience. It's gonna be new. And you have to, if you're a martial arts coach out there and you're taking in new students, you almost have to prepare them for what to expect. You have to almost lay out the land and let them know they're not gonna be good tomorrow. They're not gonna get it right away. And that's okay. That the learning process is the most awesome part of it. But the limitations just prevent people from even getting there. And so some most common ones I hear, I would say most common one is age and weight. That's, or status of body. And I think those are almost the two major reasons why you should train, right? If you're older and you're feeling that time keeping up like my fucking gray beard here, man, it's do shit now while you can. Work is always going to be there. Bills are always going to be there. TV is always going to be there. Responsibilities are always going to be there. But if you can't find 3 to 4 hours a week for yourself, how many hours in a week? I can't do math right now. What is that? 144, I think it is. There's 144 hours in a week. You can't find less than 1%. No, I did it. 1%. Yeah, but about 1% of your time you can't find during the week to take care of yourself. I think that's kind of sad. I think 1.5%. That point being is that if you need to lose weight, if you are out of shape, or if you are old, or I'm older, you have to actually find that time. You have to force that time in your schedule. And in fact, I'm doing it right now. The gym opens up in an hour. Typically, it opens at 4 o'clock p.m. and nobody's there, right? No one's ever there I guess I should say that I have an appointment set at 4 p.m. today, so, but I get there in 15 minutes, and due to my neck, I work out, but I only can get about 20 to 30 minutes in right now before I start taking a lot of tension in my body. But I'm hungry for it. I want it. And I'm setting my time. No, this is my schedule. I'm talking to you, and then I'm going to go to the gym and take care of my body weight training, and then I'm going to handle my appointments and classes and all that. But it's routine for me because I've done it so many times. It's part of my life. And when someone's starting out martial arts or someone's starting a new activity, it's not routine yet. So there's just limitations that is put in front of it because you're probably scared of what's going to happen. You're probably scared that someone's going to laugh at you, that you're going to feel stupid, that you're not going to get it, that blah, 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 blah. And it's just, at the end of the day, I think it's just sad that limitations or fear of false expectations appearing real is holding you back or holding, someone else back from actually training martial arts. Maybe you have a good friend, sibling, father, brother, whatever it is that could really benefit from martial arts and maybe expresses a big interest, but always puts that barrier up in front. You know what I mean? Maybe you try to fight that barrier down a little bit. I feel like when I'm talking to people, for instance, this appointment today at 4 o'clock, just like anytime anybody else who comes to my gym, you don't come to a class unless you have experience. Your first connection with me and the school or the gym is a conversation. We sit down, we get to know each other, we shoot the shit, no expectations, there's no nothing aside, just come in and talk. And my goal when doing that, and so far it's worked out pretty well, 17 years in business and growing, that talking to people helping them understand, what this is, helping them understand or like clarify their fears or belay their fears, like to kind of take away that like angst that they might have walking to the school. Because be honest, sometimes when people walk into the martial arts gym, that's the hardest thing they've done in a long time. So you have to treat them with kid gloves sometimes. Yeah, the 20-year-olds will walk in, they're fucking ready to go, they're crazy, they're just good. You don't have to worry about them. They're gonna sign up no matter what. They're gonna train with you no matter what. But it's the person that needs that extra help, who is worried about their age, worried about that their weight or their body. Like, they need a little extra touch in the beginning. So my job as a coach is to help, when someone takes that first step and you really want to do martial arts, you really want to learn jiu-jitsu, but you're limited, or you think you're limited by something, when that's preventing you from experiencing it. Then once it happens, you're never experiencing it. But my job is, once you finally take that first step towards something, well, I have to help you through it. Like, now I'm like, I hate the word guide sometimes. It feels like, I don't know, I'm on a like fucking quest. But like, maybe it is, guide, coach, like, but that's my responsibility. At least I think so. That when you come and train with me, like, yeah, it's my job. Literally my job. I get paid to do it every day, and I love to fucking do it. It's my favorite thing in the world, is to help people do martial arts. So like, it's like, if I feel like that first step, that first initial step is the toughest. So if you guys are out there and you're ready to take that step into martial arts, just fucking do it. You'll be pleasantly happy about it. Now, you also could be an experienced martial artist, right? Maybe you're training jiu-jitsu, boxing, karate, and Muay Thai, it doesn't matter. And maybe there's something that's challenging you in front of you. Maybe it's your first competition, or maybe a belt grading, or maybe some sort of traveling situation, or I don't know what it is, that there's tons of ways that we are challenged in martial arts. Maybe sparring for the first time. And I doubt he watched this, so I'll say, I had this kid who I've tried with him for a bit, and he showed up every night. He shows up sometimes consistently, then he disappears, shows up a little bit consistently, and disappeared. I could tell he needs this, and I've tried to have my conversation with him, but he's the kid who like conveniently tries to hide and disappear during sparring. And then when you ask him what's wrong, he'll typically feign some injury. I should say, like, maybe he has it, maybe he doesn't, or mumble some sort of excuse. And I've probably heard every single one of them. So I just kind of like, okay, bud, you're good. Let me know if you need anything. And I don't try to like, you have to spar, you have to do this. And you can tell the kid's just dealing with fear, and he just doesn't want to do it. And like, I want to just reach out to him and like fucking slap him. Like, come on, just get up and go. But you can't do that, because he's already too afraid that if you do that to him, it's gonna make it even worse. At least I think so. But man, he's getting beaten down by his fears. He's getting beaten down by his limitations. And again, that's sad. Like, man, don't do that to yourself. Like, you gotta conquer that shit. You gotta fight that shit. Another limitation I've been hearing a lot lately is lack of school, or lack of available training, or the training in your area doesn't fit your needs. I put out another M.A.T. It was about BJJ and Japanese Jiu-Jitsu, and I got a lot of comments and a lot of feedback on it. Guys, in fact, that video really did help me encourage, like, maybe I'm on the right path for this. And one of the comments, kind of resounding comments, was, there's no Japanese Jiu-Jitsu in your area. And then I've actually talked to a few people on the phone after that, and every single one of them has trained or is currently training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but it is a sport-dominant environment. They have all gotten injured from it, and it's not suiting their needs. Interesting. Very interesting. I thought, I guess, when you think about BJJ, it's sport dominant now, but it was, if that's your situation, then what do? You live in wherever, and all your options are, McDojo Karate or, BJJ. Like, what do you do? What are you supposed to do? I've been thinking a lot about that, and I have solutions and I have ideas on this, but it's tough. That is a true limitation. And I almost could guarantee you, I could be wrong depending on where you are in the States or in the world, if there's another school that's an hour away from you, and your limitation is, well, I have to drive longer than 15 minutes to get to a reputable martial arts school. Like, dude, I've traveled the country. I used to travel to New York once a month and stay there on a mat. Out for my MMA training, I would drive in rush hour traffic an hour and a half each, like, well, that was not each day. It was like 3 days a week to Danbury from where it was. Fucking hated it. And I stay there for like hours, and then no wonder why I got divorced. I shouldn't say that. But, yeah, no bullshit though. Like, we all have it made now. Like the younger generation, or not, this generation of martial arts. There's so much more out there. There's so much more training available, and the internet is your friend. Just go look. We'll end it with this statement today: that if there's something out there, if there's something that you're really, really, really passionate about, it's your responsibility to do it. Plain and simple. Because the time we have on Earth is just a drop, and it's gonna be over in a second, and we're gonna be dreaming. We wish we did something cool and epic, or maybe experience something for ourselves. I don't know. I know why I do martial arts, what it means to me, how it changes me. But maybe there's something out there that for you that maybe it's sword work, or some sort of capoeira that you've always wanted to try, and there's a school an hour away, but you're too lazy to go drive and do it. Man, get off your ass. Go out there, do it. There are I think it's 144 hours a week, whatever it is. There's time in your week to do something. I believe it. I believe you can find it. I believe it's time in your week to take care of yourself, to learn something new, experience something new, grow yourself as a person. It's there. It's there. Just go out there and get it. I know it sounds like a fucking, what do they call those? Like a, motivational speech right now, but it's really like I've been dealing with limitations, excuses for the past, I think, few days, and it's like you can see it. It's like, man, I know you're lying to me. It just kind of annoys me that I can't get in your head and just slap you around a little bit and say, get off your fucking ass and put some effort into this shit. That's all you gotta do. A little bit. Stop being a bitch. That's it. Matt in the car.